that on now? Streaming. All right, waiting for YouTube. Okay, here we go. YouTube. All right, I think we're live now. I don't know what's going on here. Let me test this on my phone, make sure everything's good. Let me test this on my phone, make sure everything's good. All right, we're back up. We're back up. We're live. We're live. Make sure everything's good. All right, we're back up. We're back up. We're live. We're live. I have my monitor over here, so I'm just making sure I'm checking everything. I have my monitor over here. Oh, let me close my door real quick. All right. We are good to go now. All right, everything's streaming, everything's working. If you can hear me from YouTube, welcome. If you can hear me from TikTok Live, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I don't know why that was... This whole setup's been giving me issues. I have no idea why, but it looks like everything's working how it should. But yes, if you have investment questions or just want charts, feel free to let me know, I guess down there in the chat. Or if you're on YouTube, let me know. I'm still experimenting with landscape versus vertical. I mean, I can kind of get, let me go full page here. I can kind of get all of my stuff in here. I'm just trying to figure out how to, oh wait, here we go. I can't get that. I'm trying to figure out how to get these. I think I have to do a full screen. There we go. Okay, that looks a lot cleaner. Move that into the center here. But this is what I'm thinking for Bitcoin. I've been kind of monitoring this over the past, call it 2 weeks, I want to say. And I mean, it's played out pretty good right now. It's still looking like it wants to go lower, in my opinion. This is Bitcoin right here. I have been analyzing a lot of other charts as well. Let me see if I can jump to, hold on, no. Change symbol. Here we go. I mean, if there's any stocks or charts you want me to look at, let me know. I think I have XRP in here too. There was a lot of people that were interested in XRP. I want to say I have it in here. Let me go. I think if I hit Control M, does that give me monthly? No. Shift M. Nope. Where's the time frame? Here we are. So on the monthly time frame for XRP, a lot of people are interested in XRP. I mean, me personally, I do have XRP, so I mean, XRP to me looks like a pretty decent chart here. Oh wait, I'm in log, that's why. I gotta go here. All right, let me move this. All right, so for me, this is what XRP looks like. Based on Elliott Wave theory, using Elliott Wave theory to project out what a potential target would be for Elliott Wave for XRP. I have between basically $4.50 to, I mean, we could even extend to $9. It could potentially go lower, I mean higher rather. And that's where I'm targeting for XRP. I've been in XRP for a decent amount of time now. I want to say, is this 2016? Where's 2023? I want to say I entered somewhere in this region, like 46 cents. I think that's where I'm in from an XRP standpoint. And I'm still riding this out till we hit these targets up here. Let me zoom in so it's a little bit clearer. I'm on vertical, so let me get this a little bit more clear here. But that's what I'm looking at. Oh, why is it? No, I want to get out of log. There we go. Okay, it was in log. I don't know why it was in log. Okay. So from an XRP standpoint, this is Goofy Girl, what's going on? Cookie Lava, or Lava? Cookie Lava, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me go over to TikTok here. Is any comments? I don't see anything in TikTok, but this is what I got for XRP. For all any XRP lovers out there, this is what I'm looking at from an XRP standpoint. Basically anything from, call it $5 to about $9 for this next wave 3, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me remove this, remove that. Yeah, just let me remove 2 drawings. So from an Elliott Wave standpoint, how it works, what is this stream about? I mean, typically I come on here and talk about anything from investing all the way until basically any type of crypto chart, stock chart, and we analyze a lot of these charts to potentially get good entries and then good exits to make money in the market. Is essentially what I stream about pretty much every single day, starting as of like this week. I got everything set up to start streaming. I got all the setup here where I have like me right here, the chart above me, and then something up at the top. I don't know, I took some image and put it up there. But typically I like to stream a lot of things in regards to just different types of investments and how to invest, if that answers your question. Hi, what's going on, Bree? Is that Bree Players Roblox? What's going on? But from an Elliott Wave standpoint, we have this macro wave 1 here. This is a wave 2. So we have an A correction, a B, and a C down here. Then we should get the wave 3, followed by wave 4 and wave 5. And for the wave 3, we can target out a wave 3. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff I talk about, it's mainly stocks, mainly crypto. I do a bit of trading right now. A lot of the stuff that I do is mainly long-term investments, but I do some level of trading. I'm in a Bitcoin short right now that I've been riding basically since 88,000. I think it's in profit right now. I mean, the fluctuation's a little bit, but I can jump over to the Bitcoin chart and show you. Have you made any profits from it yet? I mean, I've been invested in crypto since 2023, so some of my tokens are up, like XRP specifically. I want to say I got in somewhere around 50 cents, and it's right at what, almost $1.88 right now. I mean, that's what's that, a 3x I think from the bottom. So I mean, I'm in profit in XRP, I'm in profit in HBAR, Chainlink, some of the other tokens like Polkadot and CELO is another one that I like. I'm negative on those, but I'm just waiting for the next wave up for altcoins to be in profit. And I believe that once Bitcoin enters its wave 5, we're going to see a pretty significant, and you can see it here from XRP too, and I can dive a little bit deeper into XRP, but this is like what a lot of altcoins look like right now. And I know everyone's thinking, oh, altcoins are going to die, they're not going to go up, they're going to be, dead. I don't think that. I think if the majority of people think it's going to be dead, I think it's going to do the complete opposite and actually go up a lot further. So on my Bitcoin specifically, on the short, I'm in slight profit, but on some of these altcoins, I'm in, 2, 3, 4x profit from 2023. And some of them I can be down like 50 to 70% just because some of this correction right now has been pretty brutal. But from an Elliott Wave standpoint, what we can do is project out a potential target for the wave 3 of XRP. So basically you take this fib extension tool, go from the bottom of wave 1 to the top, go down to the bottom of wave 2, and then this gives you some projections for a wave 3. And typically, as of the rules of Elliott Wave theory, wave 3 likes to target the 1.618, and that's what I'm targeting next for this wave 3 push up. So we have the wave 3 extending here, then we should get a wave 4 somewhere in, say this region, and then we'll get a wave 5, either 2 all-time highs or maybe a little bit more extended somewhere up here. So, I mean, from an Elliott Wave standpoint, my targets for XRP, I mean, we could get some extensions on it, but for me, what I am targeting from a conservative standpoint, we'll evaluate as price action comes out. But for me, basically anywhere between $4.50 to about $9 can be a good window to take profits on our XRP, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah. But that's what I'm expecting for XRP specifically. And this shadows a lot, like HBAR's chart looks like this. I want to say there's a couple others that have like a big corrective movement. Then we have this impulse. This to me is a wave 1 of the wave 3. So if we dive in a little bit deeper here, this is why I like Elliott Wave theory so much, because it allows you to project out and have an understanding of where price might go. So for me, this was a macro wave 1, macro wave 2 correction, and then we're in this 3 right now. And in this wave 3, we're going to see smaller sub waves. So for me, this is a wave 1. We're in the 2 right now. We should see a 3, a 4, and a 5. Let me clean up this chart a little bit more. Settings. Turn this off. We'll move this to, let's move it to minor. Yeah, that looks better. And then from here, what we'll see is, let me move this over here, this over here, this over here. I'm just moving it out of the way for now. This isn't necessarily like, oh, XRP is going to hit, you know, this at August of 2028. It's me just moving it out of the way. But from an Elliott Wave standpoint, what we should see is the wave 5 up here, the wave 3 somewhere up here, wave 4 here, and then this is the wave 2 right now. So we should see, this is what it'll look like. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, we'll have a wave 3, a 4, and a 5 to complete this 3, and then we'll have a correction, and then we'll have one final impulse for basically the finale of XRP. But if you have any questions on XRP, let me know. I like XRP. I think it's going to do really well. It's basically been a leader all this cycle. Oh, let me move this into the screen here. But this is my targets for XRP. We should see it too. And honestly, from an Elliott Wave standpoint, wave 3 is the strongest. That's why this is performing so well. That's why we saw such an explosion from XRP, basically from, what's that, November of 2024. We saw this big explosive wave 1, a wave 2. We'll see a big explosive wave 3. Probably somewhere around maybe $5, somewhere in this region. Then we'll get a correction, and then we'll see one last leg up. We could even go up pretty high too, from an extension standpoint of wave 3. We could see an extension all the way up to maybe 6, pull back, and then one last move up. But I can jump over to Bitcoin because that's what I'm currently trading right now on a more short-term time frame. So for Bitcoin, let's see, let me zoom in here on, let's do the 1 day. So on the daily chart, let me move this more into the screen here. Is that in the screen? Yeah, that's in the screen. So from a daily standpoint, this is what I have for Bitcoin. So we had this B wave up here, and then we're having a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're waiting for this final wave 5 to complete. Once this wave 5 completes, that's when my upward targets are going to be somewhere around 150. That's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. I entered a short around, let's see, I want to say 88, like right here. So that's where I entered my Bitcoin short, and I'm just waiting for this thing to continue lower. I'm a little bit in profit right now on the Bitcoin short, but once this wave 3, I basically have the wave 3 anywhere from 80,000 to maybe 78. We'll get a pullback wave 4, wave 5. I'm expecting this to complete by sometime in January, possibly the end of January. But I think in January we'll see this downside correction done. And once that happens, for me, this is what I'm expecting. So let me zoom out more on a longer time frame here. So this is the monthly chart. And for me, the monthly chart looks like, let me hide these drawings. Hide. All right, let me hide all these drawings. So from an Elliott Wave standpoint on Bitcoin, this is what I'm looking at. Let me make sure everything's in the middle of the screen here. So the way that it works is in impulsive waves, you have basically 5 waves up. So let me get this tool here. So you have 5 waves up. And the way that that works is you have a wave 1, a wave 2, we have this extended wave 3, wave 4, and then we'll have a wave 5. And let me put settings, let me move this here. This is the primary waves. So with inside of waves, you have waves. It's kind of like Inception, but we have a wave 1, a wave 2, this extended wave 3, a wave 4, and we're waiting for this wave 5, which is going to be the last leg up for Bitcoin. I know that there's a lot of people right now that are expecting Bitcoin to, go into a bear market. They're expecting Bitcoin to, whatever. You just see it on crypto Twitter all the time. There's so many different things that people think Bitcoin's going to do. But if you look at it from an Elliott Wave standpoint, the one thing that I like about it a lot is it gives you clear defined rules on what to look for. So with inside of wave 1, if we look on the weekly time frame, you'll see a 5-wave impulse up. Then you'll have an A, B, C for the 2. Then we have a 5-wave, basically wave 3. And after this, we're in this corrective state right now. And once we complete this 4, which I think is going to happen in January, we'll have this wave 5. And the way that it works for the targets for wave 3 is you take the fib extension tool, you take it from the top of wave 3 to the bottom of wave 4. Say that happens around 78,000. Let me get the settings here so you can see what I'm looking at. So you have basically 78,000. Say Bitcoin bottoms at 78,000. After that, wave 5 typically extends based on the rules around the 1.618, which would be right at 150. That's why I'm targeting 150 for a wave 5 for the Bitcoin. Put options on Tesla. I'm not invested in Tesla currently, so I don't have any, I guess, skin in the game, so to speak. But from a Bitcoin standpoint, I do have skin in the game. I am in a Bitcoin short right now, waiting for this wave 4 to complete. Once it completes, that's when I'll start flipping long and I'll go to the upside. And for me, I'm targeting 150. So I'll probably enter a short, say around 78K, or a long around 78K and target 150. We can see more extensions. It just really depends how explosive wave 5 is going to be. Wave 3 was pretty extended. So in my opinion, we're probably not going to see an extended wave 5. If anything, we're going to basically be in between 123 to 150. If we extend, sure, we can put some fib extensions on here and I can show you exactly where we can potentially go. But we could go to the 2618, which, I mean, I doubt we go there, but we could. You never really know. So if we put these fib extensions on here, the 2 is sitting at 168 and the 2.618 is at 195. Could we reach that? Sure. Is it guaranteed? No, I mean, nothing's guaranteed in the market, right? You always have to have a plan, and that's why I use this as my plan, and I operate based on the rules. Do I potentially take profit sooner? Maybe. But from a long-term standpoint, I'm targeting 150 for a wave 5 for Bitcoin. Once that happens, then we'll correct this entire wave 1. So let me move this out of the way here. So the way that it works, and you can see it here too, we have an A wave, a B wave, and then a C wave. We'll correct this entire wave 5. So what you'll see, if I can move this chart here, what you'll see, say we go to 150, right? What you'll see is you'll have an A wave, a B wave bounce, and then a C wave lower. Let me make that more distinguishable so you can see it. So basically the way that it works is we'll have this wave 5, then we'll have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And you can see that tip on past charts of Bitcoin. Like if we go to the last cycle right here, I mean, you have this big wave up, you have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. We're going to get the same thing after we complete this wave 5. What that structure looks like is still up to debate. We need more price action to determine what that would look like. But we could get, something like, a 50% retracement of wave A, somewhere to 125. Maybe we go back to the all-time high here. Or do we get an extended B wave to get a running flat? It really just depends on what that looks like. And once we get more price action, we can be able to determine what this would look like. If we get an expanding flat like this, you would have an extended B wave, which would usually target the 1.618. It can't go higher than the 1.618. So if we get a 150 retrace down and then we get a bounce, that's what it could potentially look like. We could get a something like this for a B wave, and then we get a C wave down, It really just depends on what that'll end up looking like, and that it's hard to determine now because we don't have a top yet. And then what we could do is take this entire move, go to 150, and then we can target some potential areas of buying for next cycle. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way here. And these are some potential zones if we hit, where's 150? Say we hit 150, right? You know, everything goes to plan, we hit 150, then we'll get an ABC correction, which I was just talking about, of this entire 5-wave move. Once we get that, and move this into the screen here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I'm looking on my phone just to see if you can see that. It should be right there. But from a Elliott Wave standpoint, typically in an ABC correction, it could correct 50%, it could correct basically 61% of the move, it could correct 78% of the move, which for crypto, that's typical. Like you usually see around a 78% move. But from a targeting standpoint, you can see anywhere from basically 83,000 to 44,000 as a potential bottom for Bitcoin for next cycle. And if that happens, you know, there's some good buying opportunities for the next cycle. And if we bottom, say at 67, then what we can do is we can take this right here, target 150 as our extension, target say 65K, maybe previous all-time high, and then we can target the next target for the wave 3 would be $282,000 for Bitcoin. So there's a potential really good opportunity to, you know, make some gains in the next cycle if you were late to the party this cycle. I hope that makes sense and I'm not confusing anyone. But that's what I'm looking at from a pure chart perspective of Bitcoin. And if you want to dive into lower chart that you want to look at, I'm happy to do that. It just depends on kind of your preference, because I'm monitoring the chat right now on both YouTube and TikTok. Oh, it seems a little delayed on TikTok. That's why. Maybe I just have to reset it. Yeah, why does that seem delayed? Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, that's what I'm thinking for Bitcoin. So that's sort of the game plan moving forward. Somewhere around 150 is what I'm thinking for Bitcoin. What time is it? 2:30. I might jump off. I need to get this set up. I don't know why it's not working the way that I want, but I need to get this set up better. I thought you said it would move lower. Yeah, for me, it's going to move lower first, then higher. So let me jump into the daily chart here. Hold on. Let me get this in the front of the screen here. So I'm waiting for this wave 4 to correct. Let me unhide. I have a bunch of drawings in here. I'm just trying to, let me unhide them. How do I get that? Escape. All right, let me unhide. All right, doesn't matter. I'll just redraw them. Let's see. So daily time frame. So this is what I have on the daily time frame. Let me get this out of the way here. Or actually, you know what? If I come back, I think it resets. Let me try that. Let's see here. Coinbase. It should reset. All right, it's not resetting. Okay, so let me redraw this here, and I'll show you why I think we're going to go lower before we go higher. Okay, so let me get this out of the way here. Why is the live ended? Wait, why does it say my live ended? I didn't end the live. Unable to connect. Sending data.